Our theme for our 2017 Base Camp exercise is customize your camp, anytime, anywhere, anyway. We learned from the beginning that whatever it takes to get the job done, we at Storm Services will do it.
It was Beaumont, Texas, the aftermath of Hurricane Ike, and we set up base camp, and we served our dinner meal. Everything went fine. We woke up the next morning, started our breakfast. One of the linemen come in about 4 in the morning, asked for coffee. Got the coffee, came up to us and said, "Do you always put salt in your coffee where you're from?" And my dad and I looked at one another and we were kind of in shock. So we started checking the water system, and what had happened was the sea salt from the ocean had compromised our water system. So for breakfast, we started opening 16-ounce bottles of water to make coffee, grits, and everything. And we called for a tanker truck. Tanker truck comes in, it's salt water. So we had to serve the dinner meal with bottled water. We called for the third tanker truck. It was also salt water. After that, we just decided the rest of the site we were going to be using gallons, and then we finally went to the big containers. And without all of our crew, whichever one of them here was with us then, I don't know what we would have done, but we adapt to whatever the situation calls for.
We had a windmill on site that had fallen, taking out the water and taking out the power. I had 2 of my electricians working on the well system throughout the storm to be able to get the water going, and then I had another crew working inside, getting the lights going and everything in the dining hall tent. All this was taking place around 4. We served breakfast at 6. And we were able to do that. And so when we talk about customizing sites, all sites are customized.
Storm Services can customize your camp anytime, anywhere, anyway.
We had about 50 or 60 cots that we had to take up 3 stories, and we were able to take the elevator, but we could only take 5 or 6 at the time. So we finally, after probably an hour, got them all up there. We hopped in the truck and headed home, and I remember us just having a good day. We had fun together, but in the same time, we were able to get what our customer needed done.
The customer was pleased. The men who were working so hard to restore power to the citizens of New Jersey were able to have a place to rest their head, and it turned out to work out well for everyone.
Before Superstorm Sandy hit, we were in New York just riding it out, and we got a phone call from Tommy Hopkins that said that we needed to get a hotel room. So we called around, and there was no hotel rooms available, there was nowhere to stay, but we found one hotel room.
The only hotel room we could find was a 5-star hotel room, very fancy. And so we're in a portable toilet service truck. We pull up there and it had valet service, and at the time we're pulling up, the valet attendant's walking out. He recognizes what type of truck we're in, and the look on his face was priceless, and he walks up and says, "Would this be valet or self-parking?" So both at the same time, we around and looked at each other and we said, "Valet."
All the training that we do at Storm Services, it works, and you pull from that and you use it. And I had a kitchen that arrived, the one I'm standing in, that I had never stepped foot in before, and we walked in and made it happen. Everything I needed was here. I didn't have to think about anything. The rest of the team arrived on site. We moved 3 times because the waters were rising around us, and we just adapted. Slept in our car a night or 2, and you know, it is what it is. We do what we have to do to make it happen.